Well, hello everyone.
Hello.
I was doing pretty good with not doing just talking videos. I shot a lot of different things and I've been editing, and then I realized, oh no, I need more shooting footage, or oh no, I need this. And it's taken me a while to get that stuff done, and it's so funny how one blown range day with a packed schedule can screw everything up. So I have all this stuff already done. I have to wait on both ammunition and the opportunity to get to the range with my schedule. It's very annoying. But there are a lot of important current events that are afoot. Unfortunately, the theme of today's video is going to be it never rains, it pours. First, we have the Larry Vickers situation. Now, for those of you that were paying attention to the little posts I do sometimes in between editing videos or when something pops up, Larry Vickers got raided by the ATF.
The ATF
His asshole.
We have to be ready to support him, and speculating or reaching out to him or bothering him constantly, especially with his medical stuff that's going on, is not going to help. A couple people have reached back to check on Larry to see if he's okay, and the only information that's being provided is he is okay. As far as any details he's not sharing, Larry Vickers comes from really hard, old school, senior enlisted kind of heritage. That's the kind of guy he is. I don't expect Larry Vickers, a former Delta Force operator who is a master sergeant, to go out and be like, oh no, this happened to me, please help me. That man's not been a victim his entire life. He's not going to start being a victim now, and he's not going to beg for help. So the reason that I put that information out, and the reason other people are trying to do it too, is the man is a staple in the gun community, and there's so much, like the quality of the videos that he presented before everybody caught up to, hey, let's get a camera crew and do all these cool editing and put some real effort into our gun videos, were reminiscent of the quality of my videos. So he really brought a lot of that stuff up, and he's shown us stuff we would never see otherwise. I feel it's really helpful to find ways to help him out because he helped the community out. He also has been an instructor for years. He's taught people gunsmithing. He's really important. And, feel about it how you will, but reaching out to him is not going to help. Leaving comments in his videos like, what's going on, Larry? Can we help you? Is not going to help. That's not the kind of guy he is. So what we can do is just be prepared. Some money ready to send if his lawyers or whatever. I don't know the situation. I may never know the situation, but should donating become a thing, have money ready to send to him. Or something you can do right now is go watch all of his videos, boost the traffic, which you can do by watching the whole video, thumbing it up, and then just leaving a comment like, we're here for you, Larry, or we're with you, Larry, or something like that. Just let him know the community's not just going to let him be forgotten, and give him the support that, quite frankly, he gave us. That if you're so inclined to help, that's how you can help in the short term. Increasing the revenue to his channel will help him directly. So you can go watch his videos, make your sacrificial benign comments to the algorithm gods. Don't tell him I sent you. This ain't for me. And just help him out as much as you possibly can. I'm doing it myself. I'm going through all of his old videos. If I didn't like it, even if it's something I don't care about, I put it on mute if I don't like the video. Let it go all the way through, thumb it up, and then leave a comment. So that's what I'm going to spend my afternoon doing after I finish editing this. But don't forget him. He's very important. All right, next. Another important YouTuber, who some of us remember and some don't, is Dugan Ashley. He did Carnicon. And he stopped doing it because he was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. The reason I'm saying this is because he just put out a video saying that he has multiple sclerosis. I'm not a big fan. I like putting people's personal business out there, even if it's somebody I don't like. But I like Dugan. I have 2 of his lowers, his Carnicon lowers. I got one of the shirts when he was selling shirts way back in the day. And He's a really good dude. He was definitely for the cause, and he did a lot of funny videos, a lot of tracks, and he really changed the gun culture for a lot of people. And he put out a video. He's in a really bad way. He doesn't have medical insurance. He just has the VA coverage, and the VA doesn't really have specialists, and he has multiple sclerosis. So my man needs help. He doesn't have a lot of time left. I'm not going to sit here and play with you that somehow miraculously we're going to save his life. The only thing we can do is get him medication and treatments that are going to extend his time here and make sure he can maximize what few years he has left. And what he said in his video, man, you know, it's funny because being in the military makes you harder, but it makes you softer. So I'm going to try not to get soft, I guess, but my man just wants a little more time with his kids so that they can get old enough so he can say bye to them properly, so they can understand that their father just didn't die and was somebody that's just gone in their life. He wants some more time with them, just a couple years, and he's not someone to normally ask for help, and he's asking for help. So I don't know if there's a donation link or not. I'm going to put the video where I saw the information, and it plays Dugan's video with him explaining his situation, but it's really dire. And again, if you're so inclined to help out, please donate what you feel comfortable when the time comes, and let's try to help this guy out. He's a good guy. All right, so if it hasn't been made painfully obvious to people, the DOJ and FBI are trying to intimidate people.
Excuse me, who's in charge here?
I am.
Yeah, well, not anymore, you're not. This department has just been assigned to the FBI.
That's outrageous. On whose order?
On order of the Secretary of Defense. You had your shot, now I'm in charge.
Not anymore, you're not. Orders just came down from Central. They want ATF handling this on all fronts. All right, people, from now on you're answering to me.
Not anymore, they're not. Orders from the President. He wants this handled by his staff personally.
They're really taking this whole prioritization of who's bad and who's not to heart, and they're going to try to punish people that don't agree with them, is what it looks like. And it doesn't matter how Front Street their conflicts of interest are, or holdings, or political affiliations, or donations, or what their son happens to be doing for a certain organization that's been being pushed in schools. It doesn't matter. They're going to do it.
Whatever, I do what I want.
What that in turn means is we have to be smarter and work within limitations we're given. And it does suck that they're closing things up and they're trying to target people unjustly. They're reaching implications because they're looking at nose to the floor versus the 30,000 foot view, is we're going to be a target for our adversaries to come after us and exploit weaknesses. We are in a very dangerous position right now, so you really, really have to be ready for a lot of stuff.
Under the anti-government category or subcategory of domestic terrorism, would that include groups like Antifa or Black Lives Matter, folks who commit violence or acts of domestic terrorism?
Well, we don't identify groups, but individuals' actions. So if individuals are committing actions that would be in furtherance of anti-government or anarchist ideals, then they would fall into that category.
As well as be prepared to be vilified if something bad comes to visit you and you take care of it. So it's not just, oh, I have to defend my life or protect my family and my property.
So would you quantify Antifa as an anarchist group then under that subcategory? I mean, it's an anarchist group, right? Or related?
There are individuals, I think the director has previously described them as a movement. And there have been individuals that have associated or identified with Antifa that have conducted violent acts that we would categorize as anarchist.
It may be something like, and I'm speaking, you're protecting them from a terrorist attack, not other things, but just see what they do and see how they treat people, because that's going to be the news cycle for you should that visit you.
how many acts of violence or domestic terrorism has Antifa committed over the last 2 years?
Since we don't categorize Antifa, nor do we calculate or collate information regarding Antifa, that movement, we don't have that, but we could provide you information on anarchist threats and cases in general.
There is a really, really good YouTube channel. I'm going to link it in the description. I don't want to say it because I don't want to bring anybody's attention to it that I don't want to have attention to it. But in the description is a good channel. I'll pin the video for Dugan in the comments, and then in the description will be the channel I'm talking about. Definitely just watch every single video that dude has. All right, the last thing is, I brought this up before, but I'm gonna try to give you a picture of what's happening. If you haven't put it together yourself, most of you are smarter than I am. I'm pretty stupid. But if you piece together the $600 IRS surveillance proposition or whatever, coupled with taxing you per mile, attacking cryptocurrencies, cancellation of the Trump tax cuts, inflation, increasing taxes. So it's not just they're getting rid of the Trump taxes, they're also going to increase taxes across the board. It's not just for $400,000 income earners. It's going to be from everybody who pays taxes. I think it's like $24,000 or $30,000 and up are going to be hit with extra taxes. Just with the Trump tax cuts cancellation alone, I'm going to lose $4,000 to $6,000 per year out of my salary, plus inflation, plus increased taxes, plus everything else going up. I don't know if you've noticed, but everything you try to get is at least $100. Like internet, $100, this, $100, this, $100. And then after all this bullshit passes, it's going to be this, $150, this, $200, this, and then your gas is going to go up. So it's a multitude of things. It's all part of a plan to keep us under their control. It's not really anything. They're talking about billionaires. Last time I checked, billionaires aren't doing $600 transactions. That's like their breakfast. They don't give a fuck about $600. Billionaires and millionaires do not care about $600. They wipe their ass with that money. It's for us. But good news, just like with David Chipman and how we wrote our representatives and did phone calls, emails, constant barrage of support through Second Amendment protection organizations, there are a myriad of things that we did to affect change, and the proof's in the pudding right here.
The Republican Party is not going to allow the IRS to spy on your banking accounts. On this single topic alone, I've gotten more emails and calls in the last 3 weeks than I have on any other item over the times I've been in the United States Senate.
Now, I know a lot of you are frequently telling me in the comments that voting or writing your representatives doesn't work, but if you listen to this guy.
On this single topic alone, I've gotten more emails and calls in the last 3 weeks than I have on any other item over the times I've been in the United States Senate.
Wow, that's weird. And don't get me wrong, they just they just voted to extend the debt ceiling, so I'm not too happy with a lot of them there, but they do respond to pressure. And I'm not talking about following people into bathrooms or shouting at them or anything. If anything, that is counterproductive. But when we write them the same way that video I did on how to write your representatives, for tone and everything, if you come at them in the correct way and you say, hey, listen, I'm really concerned about this. I'm one of your voters. I'm one of your constituents. I've donated to your campaign. I'm really, really concerned about this. And I would hope that you could vote against this because it's dangerous for these reasons. And it's been effective. And I have to be careful here, but the people that are in charge right now do not respond well to pressure, as you've seen on multiple fronts. And just press briefings. Just watch them how they respond. Not what they're saying, because you'll get pissed at what they're saying because it's ridiculous. But if you listen to how they respond or you watch their facial features or anything like that, you'll immediately start to notice certain things happening, and them getting snappy or, well, let me re-educate you on what this is. You know, they take those snarky positions. And if they were good in the first place, you wouldn't need to repeat yourself, right? Or if they were truthful or accurate. Quite frankly, it is a psyop to get you to be uninvolved. And the fact that they didn't just ram their whole agenda through these multi-trillion dollars and just crippled everyone, just priced you out of your own house, the fact that that didn't take place is because so many people are involved. All those chants at those sporting events, that's because people are involved. They see what's happening and they're mad. Now, some of it's just so that they can join in and have a laugh, but some of it is genuinely people who have had enough. But there are plenty of people out there trying to condition people to be complacent. They want you fat, lazy on the couch playing video games, eating Hot Pockets. They don't give a fuck about anything you're doing other than giving them money, giving them votes, or just not being involved in the first place, because then they get to advance their agendas. They just want to say, shut up, idiot, do what I tell you, consume what we give you and like it. That's what they want to say. Now, I don't know about you, but that doesn't strike me very well. That's not the kind of person I am. In fact, that usually frustrates me immensely. And on top of that, I never want something more than when somebody says, no, you can't. Okay, I'll show you. So you have to decide, are you going to be somebody who is a pushover and just gonna, well, I'm not gonna get involved or stuff like that? Or are you gonna take a stand and be involved and have some sort of control over what happens in your life? Because I promise you, where you get that control is how you vote, how you voice your opinions. The First Amendment is very important. And the professionalism that you deliver when you're doing that is also extremely important. So just keep those things in mind. Do you want to be a subject or do you want to be a citizen? That's my question to you. But if your answer is citizen, what we have to do is stand together and be involved. Activism works. We've demonstrated it multiple times this year. To be real with you, I'm pretty proud of everybody, not for certain things like the comments on the ATF stuff, but there's been a lot of grassroots activism that have pushed things off the table. And it was kind of allowed to have roughshod run over us until Afghanistan. So there were a few little tiny things before Afghanistan, but Afghanistan really polarized people. And it's very important to take that momentum and do important things with it, like get people we don't like primaried. There's people that need to be primaried out, and I have to be careful again because they're, you know who pays my bills, but there's people that need to be primaried out. And if you disagree with their politics or you see stuff they're doing all the time, but you keep voting for them, you're rewarding that bad behavior. But if we stand together and we're involved, we can make this activism work. And it has been working, and we're doing a solid job. We can turn this shit around. The tides are already changing. Let's not waste this opportunity. Let's get our rights back. Let's stop this stuff from being implemented. Let's keep our fucking money. I hate it when people fuck with my money. Like, I just put tires on my vehicle and I did all this stuff. Like, a lot of money just came out of my pocket and out of my savings account, quite frankly. And now I'm trying to replace it and I can't. Like, I just feel like I can't because groceries are so expensive and gas is so expensive and everything I try to do has gone up. And I'm just sitting there like, what are these numbers I'm looking at? You know, my paycheck hasn't gone up. Man, it's wild. This is very, very wild. I cannot tell you how important this stuff is. You were born in the greatest country in the world, with the greatest founding documents in the world, with the best Bill of Rights in the world. And as a citizen, you have control of what your government does. And you don't have to raise a finger other than to flip a switch to vote or do any of these things. And it's the people that opt out of this that surrender their rights. Or they sit there and postulate to justify their laziness. Oh, this isn't going to pass. Well, why don't you make sure it doesn't pass? Because what happens if it does? That's my favorite question to ask people. Well, that's not going to happen. What happens if it does? Well, it's not going to happen. No, tell me, what happens if it does? Well, yeah, what happens if inflation goes to 10%? We are dying under 3.5%. Imagine if inflation went to 10% and your paycheck over the course of the year goes down $6,000. You lose $6,000 a year. So inflation's 10%, your paycheck's down $6,000 a year. Oh, by the way, gas is more expensive. Groceries are more expensive. Goods are more expensive. What are you gonna do? Well, I don't want that to happen. Yeah, no shit. Get your ass off the fucking couch and something about it. The shit's ridiculous. And it's as simple as writing people and going to vote. You do not have to do anything difficult. You just sit there and type as many words as you waste on Facebook or social media, and you put that into a letter. It doesn't even have to sound that great. Just be respectful, and you can change things. We've proven it all year. So before anyone starts that defeatist attitude where, hey, this doesn't work, we're showing that it works. We're applying pressure to our elected officials because everybody sees the cliff that we're steaming towards, and they're like, I really don't want to go over that fucking cliff, man. I got stuff to live for. I got plans. I got goals. I want to buy a house. I want to have a family, all this stuff. I want to buy a nice vehicle for myself. I want to move to this place. I want to have some land someday. Any of those goals that you might have. I want to buy more suppressors. I want to buy more guns. Just think about the things that you want to do and do them, and facilitate that through the people that you're putting in office, and keep an eye on things that'll fuck you over. It's a very, very simple thing. It may take hours out of your day to stay informed, but you know what that's going to do? That's going to keep them from raping your bank account. Which is more important to you? Being able to eat and do the things you want to do, or do you want to suffer? Like truly, and I mean truly suffer. Suffer in ways that we shouldn't be suffering, because there's no quantifiable reason that anyone can articulate to me why this shit needs to happen. So think about it. And anytime someone says it's good, challenge them on it. Don't be a dick. Don't like try to belittle them. Be like, how does this help? How does it help to do this? How does it help to cancel the Trump tax cuts? How does it, just ask these questions and make them think. Come at it from a direction of making them think. Take Trump and Biden out of it. Present them with the facts and see if they agree with it. And if they don't, be like, well, that's cool because they're trying to pass that right now. Oh shit, I don't want that. So think about it. We gotta be smart, because if we're not smart, we're gonna be stupid in poverty. So think about what you want to do. All right, off my soapbox. It's difficult deciding what to put on the table, because usually what I do is I put stuff on the table that's coming up. I have so much stuff coming up, I couldn't get enough on the table. There's a lot of stuff I have cut already, and I just need more shooting footage, and I need more time to do things. Keep an eye on your money. Save money where you can. Start preparing. Just buy a little bit extra every time you go. Just a touch. You don't have to. It's very easy to get overwhelmed. Just buy a little bit of ammunition. Like throw $60 at ammunition a month. And if you don't, buy regularly. Just buy a couple boxes and don't shoot it. Just stash it. Buy a little bit of extra dry goods. Buy a little bit extra bottled water and toilet paper. Just a little bit. Just a touch. Just a little bit of overflow. So that way you're covered. It's very easy to see all these guys that are way more prepared than you and be like, fuck, how am I going to do that? You just slow and steady. Same thing with saving money. Slow and steady. People that make as much money as I do that don't save at all, the difference of having money is for a while you just take $100 a month or $200 a month and you throw it in an account you can't see and just let it ride. Just forget about it. And then when an emergency pops up, get into that account and see what you got. It's really easy to do that. Well, I say that, but it's small things consistently versus trying to go big, all right? So just keep that in mind. And when things are cheap and plentiful and you have more disposable income, that's when you can stack it. But right now when it's difficult, slow and steady will get you there. All right, thanks for listening to me babble. I'm still around. I'm balls deep in editing and I need to go shooting. We'll see if I get there this weekend. Thanks for watching. Take care out there.